Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Taproom Success. I'm Kerry Shumway and joined, as always, by my good buddy Andrew Copeland. Andrew, how are you today?
Gary, that was the first time it ever sounded natural just to say another episode of Taproom Success. Because so often we're like, is it podcast? Is it show? Is it what do we call it? It sounded great just now. So
Oh,
thank you.
thank you. Thank you. It just came off
I
the
love
cuff.
the delivery.
I like and now that you said that, if I were to do it again, I would use show. I like the Taproom Success show. It just sounds kind of fun. Like,
I feel like if it was show, you'd be wearing like a top hat and coming out with like a cane or something.
well, I can do that. I
I
can
mean,
do
you're up in your hat collection these days. A top hat's bound to be the next one you get.
That's a good idea. Well, we were talking about that, right? People are, you're either a hat person or you're not. And if you're a hat person, there's different, like you could be a floppy hat guy, baseball cap guy. There's lots of different varieties there. So you got to experiment.
I have no idea how we just started talking about hats, but I'm here for it.
It doesn't matter. So let's talk about what we're really here for. Tap rooms, running one that's more profitable, operationally, financially. So Andrew, what is one thing in the tap room that we hate? What's one thing we hate?
Yeah, so no one likes waiting in line
I hate waiting.
anywhere.
Hate it.
Whether you're at a tap room, waiting in line for food, at a business to check out, no one likes waiting. And Carrie, what do you do? Like if you see a line a mile long, or you want that next drink and no one's coming by, like what do you do in that situation?
Well, you've got options. You can just leave, which is what happens sometimes. And that'll happen too if you go out to eat, right? And you go like, well, how long's the wait? And if it's over a certain time limit, I'm out of here. Or if you can go sit at the bar, you'll probably stick around. But yeah, I think, the default option is, maybe we'll come back another time.
Yeah, I mean, we had a conversation with some brewery owners in person at one of the events we did one time, and we were talking with them. Essentially, if someone doesn't come over to the table, someone's going to get up and leave, go to the place next door. And ironically, when you see visits, I don't know if ironically is the right word, but when the staff doesn't encourage that other drink versus visits when they do encourage the other drink, tabs are $6.50 higher when they ask the question, as in you are not waiting. So little things that you can do to minimize the wait or make it better, as I like to say, make for a both memorable and more profitable experience and a better experience for everybody involved. So that's
Hmm.
what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, I love that. All right. So how do we take what is otherwise a negative, a long line, and maybe spin it into a positive? What are some things that people can think about in that regard?
Yeah. So everybody just close your eyes and imagine you're in a busy tap room. Carrie's eyes are really closed for everybody listening to Spotify right now. That line is 20 deep. No one likes to wait. But if the bartender simply goes, "Hey, I'll be with you in just a minute," everyone likes to be acknowledged. So if there's a line, first takeaway, don't let your guests just feel forgotten. They're going to get frustrated. They might leave and go to the place next door. Either way, they're not going to be happy waiting in line. So the next thing, let's pretend you have that 20-person line and they're not going to hear you because the music's playing. It's just really loud on that Saturday. Just make eye contact. Let them be seen. I mean, even if you can't say something, just make that little bit of friendly eye contact. It goes a long way. The next thing, think about that long line. Let's pretend I'm in that line. I get to the register. Oh, I'm finally looking at the menu. Carrie, what could you have done to make that 15 minutes of line a little bit better and efficient for everybody? I think you know the answer.
Give me a menu, a paper menu
Give
that I
them a
can
menu.
scrutinize.
Give them a menu, whether it's like a little stand when you walk in. Give them a menu. Have to have a host or hostess just hand it out. Have multiple menus around the tap room people can see before they get to the ordering counter. It's something to look at, it's something to talk about, and it helps them prepare. That way, when they get to the front of the line, that encounter can still be friendly, but it's going to be a little bit more efficient. And that way, you can work the line a little bit better. So also another thing you can do if you have like an extra body, of course, this is probably isn't something that everyone can do, but if you have that host or someone who's just walking the floor, have them drop in line. Hey, what are you thinking about? Do you have any questions? They might not be able to take the order, but they can help them feel ready for once they get to the bar to order. And also, the next thing you can do is you can really get in the flow. You can get in that pacing. You can let people know that you're moving as quickly as possible. So once again, when they get to the bar, they feel a little less stressed. And another thing, we've been to tap rooms that have a lot head of tap rooms that have a little bit going on. Your atmosphere, whether it's the music, whether it's the art on the walls, it's something for people to do and look at while they're in line so they get a little less bored. It takes their mind off the wait. And this is one I like, but this is kind of like a bonus, and I encourage you to do this one. After I've waited in line for, let's say, 10 minutes, I'm frustrated, I'm thirsty, I finally order that beer. What if after I order that beer, they say, "Hey, Andrew, thank you for your patience. Here's a coaster that you can take home. Here's a sticker. Here's a temporary tattoo." Just something like, oh my gosh, I'm like getting a gift for waiting in line. It kind of makes them forget that they actually waited. It's a reward for waiting, and we love rewards, don't we, Carrie?
We do everywhere. That's a great idea too, because again, you turn a negative into a positive. And that's happened. That's human nature. And like we're all feel like we're rushed, we're busy, we're in a hurry, this, that, and the other. And 10 minutes, that could feel like an eternity, but and that can really color your whole experience and what you tell people after. It's like you turn it from, man, I don't know if I'd go there at this time because I waited forever to, wow, this was really cool. I got up there and they gave me this free thing, which was really neat. So yeah, I
And
like
I do want to think most people are understanding when they show up on a busy Saturday afternoon. But even still, you don't want people to be forgotten. You need to be kind to them. And anything you can do to try to turn that weight and that line into something positive is going to make them feel better about their experience.
Yeah, it's interesting too that it's also an opportunity to tell people what you've got going on. Like to your point, if it's a host or somebody that's, they can walk through the line, hey, we've got an event coming up, or we've got a new, you know, loyalty program, or we've got this or that. So it's also, it could be a selling opportunity. And, I think we talk about this a lot is, selling to people. People don't want to be sold to, but they do like to buy, right? So when you're in your tap room, I'm in your tap room to buy what you have. But I can't buy it if I don't know about it. So that could be another way to kind of pass that time, say, hey, here's a little bit of information on, some upcoming events that we have or whatnot. That could be interesting too. Because people just, to your point, they want to be like acknowledged, hey, I'm waiting here. And furthermore, they want something to kind of like occupy, their mind or give them something to chat about. And that might work as well.
Just anything. Just don't let them feel forgotten.
So if you don't want to wait in line, and I'm kind of this guy, I go back and forth. Really, you get to. I usually walk in, I read the room. Like, all right, some tap rooms are a little confusing. Like, where do I go? I have to fight the crowd at the seated bar, or is there an ordering line, or is there both? Oh, there's both. Which line is? I don't like playing those games. So sometimes I'll just say, if they've got table service, I'm sitting down. Now, if it's busy, I could be sitting for a while. So for those, I mean, what's your thought on that? Table service, how can you make the wait at the table a little more
Yeah.
memorable and less painful?
That's a great point because tap rooms come in all shapes and sizes. There's so many different ways you can order. You can sit at the bar. There's an ordering counter, table service, QR code. There's so many ways to order. And so many now are offering food, and many of those places that have food have table service. So you come in, you get seated maybe by a host or hostess, or maybe you just take the seat yourself. First thing, once again, you can use your words. If you're a staff member at a brewery or you're a manager and you know that person's going to wait, just be honest with them. Hey, Carrie, we're down one person today. It might be a minute, but I promise we're going to serve you as quick as possible. Just let people know. It kind of goes along the lines of don't let people feel forgotten. Acknowledge them. If you know there's going to be a wait, just be honest. I'd rather know what I'm getting into and maybe make the decision to stick around or maybe leave versus waiting there 15, 20 minutes like, okay, what's happening now? The next thing you can do for people sitting at a table, give them that menu. Carrie, when you and I are sitting down together, we're going to talk about the menu. What are you going to get? What are you going to get next? What are you going to eat? Oh, I learned something new about this brewery today. It's something for people to talk about. And once again, because we love menus, we see that when guests are offered a physical menu, tabs are 40% higher. When they have that physical menu, tabs are higher. Of course, there's so many kinds of menus these days. So give them the physical, give them the QR code, have the menus on the walls. It's going to make the ordering experience better for everyone. Now, I came to your brewery because I want a beer. which doesn't mean I'm not going to turn down a water. So if you have table service, maybe just bring me a water. Hey, here's a water. I'll be by to take your beer order, your drink order shortly. Just a super easy delivery. It doesn't take long, just a few seconds. So that's another thing. Now, as we go to tap rooms these days, we're not just going for the beer. We're going for so many different reasons. Sometimes it's, a couple beer nerds there. Sometimes it's an entire family. Give them something to do. If there's kids, maybe some sort of coloring book, maybe games, just something to take the mind off the weight. Activities are great. Maybe you have a shelf, maybe you bring it to them, but something that can take their mind off of how long it may take for you to actually serve them. And as you mentioned earlier, Carrie, no one likes to be sold to, but everybody likes to buy. So how can you use that table real estate to make them aware of everything else that you're doing? Put that events calendar there. Put the your merch menu there. Talk about everything you have going on. Give them something once again to read. We don't want people to be bored at the table because when people are bored, they get frustrated. So think of how you can use both your lines, but also your tables as a way to educate people and make them feel closer to your brand versus for them to have that negative time of just waiting and waiting and waiting for that delicious beer.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. That's a good order of operations too, is set the expectations because when you walk in, I mean, that's happened several times and it just sort of eases the whole, like, am I going to get a beer in a minute or is it going to take an hour? I don't know. But if you tell me, hey, super busy, appreciate you being here. It's probably going to be about 10 minutes. We'll be right over here, some menus and a water to your point, give you some things, check out our upcoming events. Because again, it's spinning that negative into a positive and we're there for a reason. Not always in a rush, right? Like if you go to a tap room, it's like, oh, I gotta get in and out of here. No, if it was that, you'd go to the, convenience store and bring home some beer. But you don't want to know, you don't want to go in with that feeling like this could be a long time. No, I want to know. It'll be about 10 minutes. Sets the expectation for you. So I really like that. So data, Andrew, we love data. You've got all the data. Can you share that data again and just kind of
I've given
reinforce
that
these
menu
points?
data when physical menus are part of it versus not physical menus. Tab $64 versus $46. 64, 46. Just throw out a physical menu there. But also, guests who wait 3 minutes or less to order, when they get to your ordering counter a little bit quicker, they spend 6% more and they tip 11% more as well. So there's just little things you can do to make the line move quicker and acknowledge people that make that experience better. The overall data is when people feel that engagement at your tap room, they do spend 40% more. And even when you have that line 20 people deep, you can engage, so don't let them feel forgotten. That's the moral of the story. And I hope you take just one of the things I said today and try it out in your tap room.
It's a good story, Andrew, and we love morals to the stories and data too. So for those who are listening or watching, we'd love to have you join the conversation, taproomsuccess.com. Every month, Andrew and I host a monthly expert. This month we had Ryan Geist talking about merchandising. I thought it was fascinating. Merchandise is sort of an afterthought, I think, for most taproom breweries, but it can be a real nice generator of revenue. And not just that, really brand recognition. I mean, you were kind of joking like you have a I don't even know how old your t-shirt was, but you're like, oh, it's my favorite t-shirt. I'm the
It
same
was
way.
my Ryan Guy shirt. I probably got it almost a decade ago.
A decade ago. That's impressive.
Almost a decade ago.
So to think about it that way, but that's just one example. So each month we bring in a new expert to talk about a different aspect of your taproom business, how you can improve financial and operational results. We also have our monthly mastermind meetings where our taproom owners and managers come together. We do a Zoom, talk about, what challenges are we facing, what opportunities, really great exchange of ideas. And of course, we have our taproom success blueprint and our online courses that are available 24/7 for you or your team. So if you want to learn more, you can check out taproomsuccess.com.
And everybody's looking to be inspired these days. So come connect with us, connect with other managers and owners from across the country. I guarantee that you'll learn something that you can take back to your business. So everybody, we hope to see you soon. Cheers.